Anton, why should agents go to real estate masterminds?
I think that agents, investors, wholesalers, hard money people, it doesn't matter what space you're in, you need to get out of your box. So I go over to the airport, I hop on the plane, I'm flying out there, super busy. But you know what's funny? The second I schedule to go to one, I go, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. I don't have time to do this. So number one, know that you immediately say no. Number two, magically, I am wildly productive before I leave and I do extra deals. So if you want to leave town, or if you're not doing enough deals, just schedule to go out of town. Boom, you get a bunch done. But three, all of a sudden what happens is I'm outside of my box. I can't be interrupted. I'm outside of my world. I'm stuck on a plane. That time on the plane allows me time to think freely, to be creative, to be uninterrupted. I open my little magic black book and I start reviewing my notes from past times. I shut everything down and I sit there in silence and I think and I write what I should be doing. I review my goals. I review my progress. I review what I'm doing. And then when I get there, I'm there to meet brilliant people. And I want to say one thing. People make an assumption that you have to meet the most experienced people in the room that are making the most money to find the brilliance. The brilliance comes from the people who are doing something innovative or uber consistent. We're not looking for the one-off. We're looking for someone who's changed the game, or they're doing something so consistent they are just nailing it. For example, I talked to this awesome gentleman who's a wholesaler while I was there, and he told me in the last 12 months, he ran $260,000 in pay-per-click ads. He did not see any of the properties he wholesaled, and he went and wholesaled almost $1.2 million worth of wholesale properties. That's crazy. That's the people I want to talk to when I go to these things. You're there to ask questions about how they think. How did they do it? Why did they do it? You got to realize when you go to an education event, you go to a mastermind. P.S. Go to the paid ones. Don't go to the cheap ones. If it's really expensive, you know everyone in the room spent money to get there and they have money or are willing to invest in themselves. Why are they doing it? Where are they doing it? What's their unique strategy? What are they most consistent at? And then realize that now as I'm away from my distractions and I'm away from my routines, I also have to guard myself against the new squirrel and the new shiny object. See, we go to education and we get all pumped full of sugar. And we're like that little kid full of sugar on the playground and we're just so excited. I want to get on the merry-go-round. I want to get on the swing. I want to go down the slide. I want to go, on the rope over there. And you're going to just fall down and skin your knee. The reality is you have to slow down and you have to say there are no magic bullets. There's nothing that's going to be perfect. And you have to pick one or two things from your mastermind that you are going to put into activity and into your business. And my recommendation is before you leave, you pull out your calendar and you schedule the time to work on those two items. And you set that in your calendar before you leave. The other thing that you're looking for when you get there is I'm actually looking to time travel. I'm there to hear a genius, a brilliant individual, a wealthy individual, a spiritual individual, someone who's healthy. Talk about something they've done at a great level so I can go shave 1 to 5 years off of that by simply listening, taking good notes, reading their book. Realize that some of the best conversations also don't always come from the speaker. They come from the dinner afterwards. They come while you're in the hall. So I'm there to time travel. Einstein said, time is not fixed. Time is subjective, qualitative, nonlinear, and flexible. So if you understand that time is not the same for everyone and no two people are having the same time experience, time will expand or contract based upon the speed and distance that an object moves through space in any given direction. This is how Einstein defined it. Well, therefore, I'm also there to change time. I'm looking for ways to hack time, to physically make it bend to my will. Also, what happens too is you get clarity about what you're doing. If you take the moment to review, like, where are my goals? What progress have I made? Let me give you a very specific example. How often do people review a health goal or a wealth goal or a family time goal?
Rarely.
Rarely. Unbelievably rarely. they don't come back and revisit these items. But let's think about it. If we were out here in the Puget Sound and we're driving a boat and we're headed from the Mukilteo Ferry, we're headed from the Mukilteo Ferry over to Whidbey Island. If we don't turn the boat and change directions as we're traveling across the saltwater, we're not going to get to the right destination. So you've got to take this time to say, are my goals clear? Where am I at on the path to my goals, and what adjustments do I need to make? I'm trying to look at my life while I'm here and going, where can I force flow into my life? The flow state is when you do something and it feels or looks effortless and you're able to just kill it. Well, the only time you can force the flow state is when I have a clear and specific goal. I can get immediate feedback, and there's a challenge and or risk of the activity is beyond our current skill level. So if I've got to leave to go on a mastermind, I'm going to force flow into my life. Now that I'm coming back, I have this new activity I want to start. How do I force flow into getting that started? How do I insert that quickly? Lastly, it helps you to see gaps in your organization. As you're gone, I then get to come back and review, did my people make the right decisions? Were deals done without me? What happened to our lead generation? And you get a review where everything is and see, did something actually break? Is there a person, a system, a process, leverage, technology that's needed in order to prevent that from breaking again? Also, while I'm hanging out, I get extremely inspired. So I get excited about real estate. So I was excited. I come back. I'm in the mood to do something. My good friend, Jeff Latham, picks up the phone and calls me and says, bro, do you want to get a six-pack in the next 90 days? And I just said, whatever you want to do, I'm down. He goes, I didn't even have to sell you. I said, I'm game. You had me at hello. Let's rock and roll.
You had me at hello.
He goes, you know what? We're going to go join Dan Martell's fitness program. And we've got this horrible 16-day cleanse. I already started it, but I want you to join me. And so I was thinking about what he did, and it was so brilliant. If you're going to do something hard like a cleanse or something in your business, you need to grab others and bring them on the journey with you. So he went and roped me in, and I immediately roped 5 more people in. The reality is all of a sudden now Jeff and I have this accountability to each other. We have someone else who's going on the journey, who's doing the hard thing together. When you do hard things together, they become easier.
More fun.
Totally more fun.
Less of a burden and more of something you look forward to.
Exactly. So when I go to these masterminds, I'm going, how can I do it together with my people? How do we implement this new idea, this new business strategy? If you want to go fast, you go alone. And if you want to go far, you'll go together. My friend called and said, hey, I want to do this with you. I said, I'm down. Let's rock and roll. It's super crazy. I'm 5 days into it. Today is day 6, and I've lost 7.8 pounds. I mean, that's a lot of weight. But it was all because of the level of commitment that was put together, and that my friend called and said, hey, let's do this. So be thinking about that too. Who do I have to involve in my activity coming back from this mastermind in order to get the idea done, launched, and completed? Because so often we go learn something and then we never implement it. So education without implementation is simply entertainment. If you guys like this and you want to chat more about real estate, you can always reach us at rsg.com. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching.